New, local, unique. MyTV53 News at 8 starts right now.
A news conference was held in the PNC Bank parking lot this week to discuss roadwork that will be done between Highway 99 and Blackstone on Shaw. I'm Giovanna Casanova with MyTV53 News at 8.
So there'll be intermittent work that occurs on Shaw Avenue during that period of time. So in the interim, we know that there are areas that cannot be neglected any longer. And so there's going to be hot patching happening in various locations throughout this 6-mile stretch that goes all the way from 99 freeway all the way to Blackstone Avenue. In addition, there's going to be crack seal work done on all of Shaw Avenue, except where we are repaving. And then the areas that we're talking about doing the crack seal is really over a 36 lane miles of crack sealing. So that's a significant amount of work. And then lastly, this week you're going to see all up and down Shaw Avenue what we call a pothole blitz. And that will be happening from State Route 99 to Blackstone Avenue and on Shaw. So a lot of work that's going to be done. We want motorists to know that because some of their commute might be impacted by some delays, but it's very, very important that we get this work done. And it's important that we get it done because the longer that we defer that maintenance, the worse condition these roads become and the more costly it becomes to repair them. And we all know that potholes are really a symptom of a failed pavement failures that are caused by excessive rain. As we see this year, we saw last year, we had a lot of rain. So when you have a crack in the road, that water seeps in and erodes that asphalt, and pretty soon you have a pothole. And if you don't take care of that pothole quickly, it becomes a serious traffic safety hazard to motorists. So we want to make sure that we get all of that work done. We'll be using both the hot and cold patch methods. I think you know about a month ago, a little over a month ago, we launched the pothole elimination teams throughout Fresno. They've been very active, although they have not been on Shaw Avenue yet. They will be starting this week.
Thank you, Mayor. So as the council member representing the south side of Shaw, it is my pleasure to stand here with Council Vice President Carbasi and the Mayor just to recommit our steadfast commitment to ensuring that Shaw Avenue is one of the safest and one of the smoothest roads here in our city. So Shaw Avenue serves as an arterial, the main artery that connects east and west constituents here in the city of Fresno. And so in addition to the road and repaving that we have here in the city, I also want to make note that we have another big infrastructure project coming up in the form of a grade separation at Shaw Avenue and Golden State. This is a project in partnership with the High Speed Rail Association. One of the main issues that I heard from my constituents here in District 1 is traffic congestion and how they felt a huge traffic divide between east and west in the city of Fresno. And so with the projects that the Mayor and the Council Vice President just announced, in addition with the grade separation in partnership with the High Speed Rail, there has never been a better time to be a resident here in the city of Fresno when it comes to traffic congestion being improved upon here. So thank you to Council Vice President Carbasi. Thank you to the Mayor. Without your support, infrastructure investments like this would not be possible. And so at this time, to give us more details, I'd like to introduce someone who shares our commitment to improving the city's infrastructure, and that is the Public Works Director, Scott Boger.
All right, good morning. And thank you, Council President, Mayor, and Councilmember Carbasi. So we're very excited to announce new grant funding. One of our jobs as the City of Fresno is to secure and bring in outside dollars, just given the magnitude of deferred maintenance that we have. Nearly $1 billion between pavement repair that's needed, concrete repair citywide, a very significant number. So this $4.5 million for Shaw Avenue between two separate grants of $1.78 million for Shaw Avenue between West and Fruit, and then also a previously received grant close to $2.7 million from Fruit Avenue to just east of Palm. Those funds will become available through federal government 2026 for east of Fruit Avenue to just east of Palm, and then 2027 from Fruit to west. So we're excited for that work. One of our jobs also is to be good stewards of the public dollar. With those federal grants, we're able to take just over $500,000 in SB1 gas tax funding and leverage that to become over $5 million in much needed improvements. On the topic of just being good stewards, also in the meantime, what will the city be doing? We need to invest in this corridor through things like crack seal and pothole repair to be able to hold the street together, not only for the benefit of the traveling public, vehicles, smoother ride, but also to ensure that we do not have this major arterial degrade further while we wait for those federal dollars to come in for construction. So we want to thank the public for patience. Road construction always brings much needed improvements, but also there's some short-term inconvenience with that work. In the background behind me you see our new patch crew. We're very excited to thank Mayor for support for the proposal in the budget.
So, Mike, I had one question. I'm with MyTV53 News. So we were wondering, what other projects do you have going on in your department?
So in Northwest Fresno right now, we're under construction for Audubon Drive. We have a traffic signal and 3 crosswalks being installed. People have been waiting a generation for that. We just completed a major project at Sierra and West, and also Palm and Barstow, because safe routes to schools are really, really important. So we can make sure kids, when they face traffic, they can safely go across the street or get home to their parents. And yeah.
And then, I know that Shaw is one of the main arteries now in Fresno, but what about other streets that are more run down in East or West Fresno?
Well, I tell you what, from the calls I get, Shaw's pretty run down. But I will tell you that we are also committed. This is not just about Shaw Avenue. I mean, Shaw is the gateway to getting to the 99, Golden State, to Kermit. And it's such a heavily used area, which is why it's so damaged. So we have to continue to upgrade it. The sooner we get to upgrading and fixing our street, the less costly it'll be in the long run. So there are other roads where you're still committed to seeking funding and repairing, and we're doing it right now. But Shaw needs some much needed TLC, and that's what we're here for.
And it's understandably so, because Shaw is one of the newer streets that most people use nowadays. It's not like that, the east side or west side, it doesn't get used as much anymore. So it's probably more sensible to fix this.
That's a good question. So we don't actually have an east-west freeway in North Fresno. That's why you use Herndon and you use Shaw, and Herndon's the expressway. But even though Shaw isn't an expressway, it's an arterial. It gets a lot of use out of it. So every time someone hits a pothole, it can damage their rims, damage their alignment. We don't want that anymore. So it gets used so much, we've got to put more attention out here.
All right, sounds great. Thank you, Kawasi. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Yep. Thank you.
And we will be back with more news after this.
Hi everyone, it's Valentina Saldaña with MyTV53, and today I'm joined by Abraham Del Toro. How are you doing, Abraham?
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing good, thank you for asking. So first off, for the people who don't know you, can you just introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about what you do?
I'm just a fighter out of Madera, California. I just got the Camo State Championship belt in the top 9. Hungry for more. Probably 1 or 2 more fights, 2 at the most. Go pro, and then show you guys what Madera's about.
And you said something a little bit about the previous 559 fights. Can you talk a little bit about that?
What do you want to know?
So how did that turn out for you? I'm aware that you got a belt, so just that experience.
it's great. It's a great start. I for sure need these amateur fights. There's some killers out there, so I needed to get my feet wet and get ready for the big stage. But 559 fights has been cool, man. My family supports, big fan base. It's a great atmosphere. They throw on a great show, and it's always a great energy over there at 559 fights.
And when it comes to your training leading up to events and fights like this, how does that look for you?
It's uh it's always hard training. I wrestled all my life, so the intensity is always up there. Every training, every day I train, every session, whether it's 2 days, sometimes 3 days. Every time I step on the mat or the gym, it's just hard work 24/7.
And you were talking about Madeira. Coming out of Madeira, what has it been like for you to represent for that area of the valley?
It's cool, man. Madeira has a lot of potential. It just hasn't been seen yet. We have a lot of great people coming out of Madeira. We have baseball stars. We've always been up there with wrestling, and now we're in the fight game. We've been in the fight game, but we just have a big crowd coming, and it's exciting to see what Madeira can do, not only for the valley but for the state, for the world.
And what is next for you? Are you preparing for another fight right now, or are you still looking for opponents?
April 20th will probably be my next fight to defend the belt. And then I'll probably defend the other belt or hop pros. See what we want to do right after that April fight, but more fighting. That's what's next.
What can people who watch that fight expect out of you?
Growth every fight. I just have so much room to get better, and I just want to. I have some high expectations for myself. So I just want to get clean knockouts, early stoppages, and just become the best at what I do.
Finally, is there anything else you would like to add or to let people know who are watching?
I haven't been doing sponsors, but now I'm open to sponsorship. So if you want to get a hold of me, I'm at AB Del Toro 99 on Instagram, and just hit me up through Instagram. I don't know where else you could really get in contact. I don't want to put my number over on here, but yeah, hit me up on Instagram.
Okay, perfect. So reporting for MyTV53, I'm Valentina Saldaña.
MyTV53 News continues with the Valley's local forecast.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet, yeah. Make you wanna move, your dancing feet. When the morning, gather the rainbow. Want you to know I
Welcome to the historic Stanford Mansion in Sacramento for today's signing ceremony of a new letter of cooperation on climate change between the Kingdom of Sweden and the state of California. On behalf of Governor Gavin Newsom, who we will hear from in just a few moments, I'm honored to welcome Her Royal Highness Crown Princess Victoria and His Royal Highness Princess Daniel and all of the members of their delegation. I am also particularly pleased to welcome to Sacramento Sweden's ambassador to the United States, His Excellency Ambassador Urban Allen, as well as our very own His Excellency Eric Ramanathan, the United States Ambassador to Sweden. Welcome. We are also delighted to have here with us today Sweden's Consul General in San Francisco, the Honorable Anna Leckvall. For many years, Sweden has been ably represented in Northern California by all of our dear friend, Honorary Consul Barbara Osher, but we are proud and honored that Sweden has recently strengthened its consular presence in San Francisco by sending a career diplomat again to California. Today, California and Sweden are elevating our joint commitment to combating climate change. We are signaling our resolve to work together to advance and lead the way to a more sustainable and technologically advanced future. We are deeply honored to welcome their Royal Highnesses, whose presence underlines the importance both our governments attach to the fight against climate change. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce the Honorable Johan Forsall, Sweden's Minister for International Development Cooperation and Foreign Trade, to deliver his remarks. Mr. Minister.
Your Royal Highnesses, Governor, Ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, friends of Sweden and California. I want to begin by saying thank you to Governor Newsom and his team for receiving myself and the delegation here in Sacramento. We have, I believe, a very fruitful conversation here today, and we both agree on the enormous potential that is out there between Sweden and California. I think the numbers, they speak for themselves, so to speak. If California was a sovereign nation, it would rank as the world's 5th largest economy. That's impressive. And Sweden's exchange with California is also extensive, with around 140 Swedish companies being present here in California already today, creating more than 44,000 jobs. California is also one of the largest importers of Swedish goods in the US, and California exports products to Sweden for almost $700 million. These numbers are impressive, but Governor Newsom and I, we agree that we could and also should do more to improve these figures even more, because we are frontrunners in the green transition, but also world leaders in innovation and the digital transformation. California is, needless to say, #1 here, really leading the way in innovation. But Sweden is clearly also moving in the right direction. In the Global Clean Tech Innovation Index, we're actually ranked as #3. I mean, that's not bad for a nation with only 10 million people. So there is a lot of potential here. So this letter of cooperation that we'll be signing here today, it's really a way of showing that the green transition is a clear sign of our mutual interest in taking concrete action forward. We want to see this green industrial revolution that provides so many opportunities. It could be for creating new jobs, global competitiveness, just societies, and also economic prosperity.
Kansas City and Chiefs Kingdom, we love you guys. We're with you guys.
The Kelsey family is showing their support to the victims of the mass shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade on February 14th. Ahead of their latest New Heights podcast episode, Travis and Jason Kelsey addressed the tragic shooting in a clip shared on social media.
After the tragic events of the Super Bowl parade in Kansas City, it didn't feel right without you guys hearing from us first.
We just want to say, our hearts go out to all of the victims, their families, Chiefs Kingdom, and really all of Kansas City. That was really there on a day to try and celebrate the community. And it's unfortunate and deeply tragic, the events that occurred.
Jason went on to thank the first responders and local law enforcement who, quote, sprang into action. And Travis shared that they would provide a link to help those impacted by the tragedy.
One of the things that's evident is how much Kansas City is coming together and rallying around the people that have been affected by this.
The Chiefs star tight end, Travis, and his coach and his teammates had been on hand celebrating their victory among the thousands of fans who turned up for the Super Bowl parade when shots were fired. 43-year-old mother of two, Lisa Lopez Galvan, passed away while undergoing surgery to treat a gunshot wound she suffered in the incident. And at least 22 other people were injured. 3 suspects were detained in connection to the shooting, one of whom had been released, NBC News confirmed. The remaining 2 are juveniles whose identities have not been made public. Jason and Travis's dad, Ed Kelsey, also spoke out about the mass shooting during an appearance on Australia's Today Show.
Well, I didn't go to Kansas City for the parade, but people that were there, as soon as that started, made sure that they got in touch with me, and I let me know that nobody that I knew was injured. There were, it's a shame that a wonderful celebration like that has to be marred by people who are just feuding with each other.